I'm Frankie Tech, and this is my third annual Phone Awards 2020. Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and it's that time of the year for the Frankie Tech third annual Phone Awards. And I can't believe this is the third time I will be giving out awards to the best devices, in my opinion, that have come out this year. Now, every single phone that will receive an award today is one that I have had a chance to test and use. But I've tested a lot of phones, and I have a lot of awards to give out. So let's not waste any time, and let's have a look. Starting off, as we always do, with the camera section. And the first award is going to be for Best Photo Camera. Now, in previous years, there's been one line of phones that has always won this section, and this year is no different. My best photo camera on a phone goes to the Pixel 5. Now, this Pixel 5 basically took everything that was good about the incredible value Pixel 4a, added an ultra-wide camera, and you're still getting, in my opinion, the best still photo camera capabilities on this phone. There's just something about the Pixel look of camera shots that I absolutely love. And while the competition has definitely caught up, the Pixel 5 still has a look that I really do appreciate. And with that new ultra-wide camera, it has only expanded the Pixel 5's capabilities. So I give it here the Stills Photo Award to the Pixel 5. But now we go to Best Video Camera, and I think you know which one this is, and it's been a shoe-in for the past couple years. A few got close this year, some runners up here, the Mi 10 Ultra and the Mi 10T Pro, but I gotta give the Best Video Camera award to the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Still the gold standard, in my opinion, when it comes to video. And yes, you could argue that a lot of other companies are getting close to the iPhone in terms of video capability. But let's face it, guys, when it comes to overall quality and reliability, being able to take consistent high quality video, no other phone basically can touch the iPhone. And in this case, the 12 Pro Max represents the best video camera of 2020. And now moving on to the design section, and we start with one of my favorite awards, which is the Most Innovative Design Award. This is a phone that has continued to push the boundaries of what can be done with phone and display technology. Releases like the LG Wing, like the Galaxy Z Flip, and yet I don't think any of those phones have reached the level of innovation and polish as this one right here. My most innovative phone and design of the year goes to the Galaxy Z Fold 2. Now, the original Galaxy from last year was what really kind of just blew my mind, and I was so in love with that phone. This year, Samsung took the design of that original Fold and just perfected it by creating this gorgeous uninterrupted display on the inside, foldable display with no notch here. But I think the biggest innovation was being able to bring this full screen display to the front. They've improved just every aspect of this phone, from the design and just the overall look, but the polish of this device is what really stands out. It is, in my opinion, the only foldable that you should really invest in, and in my opinion, it continues to be the most innovative design of any phone this year. But now we go to Best Overall Design. And I've dealt with a number of phones this year that are just incredibly immaculately built pieces of tech, like the Mi 10 Ultra, which is, in my opinion, the best designed Android phone of the year. Yes, there have been other releases that have gotten close, but if I have to pick one phone for overall design, I'm going with the iPhone 12 Pro Max. This was the year that Apple looked forward by looking backwards, going to the flat edges that they used to use on phones like the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5. But what they were able to achieve with this 12 Pro Max is simply the most incredible industrial design of any phone that I've ever used. There's just something about the surgical grade stainless steel on the edges of this phone, the super sharp tolerances, no 3D glass on this device whatsoever, and you basically have, in terms of build, just one of the sleekest and most refined pieces of tech that I've ever held in my hand. Some other phones get close, but the overall design win here goes to the 12 Pro Max. But now we get into it, guys, the main awards section of the show, and let's start in no particular order with Best Budget Phone. Now, the Best Budget Phone has been a very interesting category in the past, and yet this year there's one company that comes to mind that has been offering the best budget experiences on the market, and that is Poco. And the Poco M3, for example, is an incredible budget phone and a battery king, and it is my runner-up here for Best Budget Phone of the Year. But if I have to give it to one of Poco's devices this year, my best budget phone of the year is none other than the Poco X3 NFC. And guys, when this phone was released, I think a lot of people wondered if Poco could match the level of the F1 to create a device that people would just be so interested in and that would offer such incredible value. The Poco X3 NFC lived up to the hype in my opinion, and is easily one of the best value phones that I have ever tested here on the channel. Now, I don't have a Poco X3 on me anymore. Chris, I hope you're enjoying it, but let me tell you, from the design to the 120Hz display to the sleek performance and really rock solid cameras, I don't think there's any other phone that reaches the level of the Poco X3 NFC, and it is my budget phone of 2020. But now we go to Best Mid-Range Phone, and this was a really tough category because there is a phone I don't have in my possession anymore, but I felt was a shoo-in for this award, and that was the Redmi 10X Pro, which in my opinion is also the most underrated Xiaomi phone of the year. But then another phone was released, and in my opinion, this device just checks all the boxes of what you would want in a terrific mid-range phone, and my best mid-range phone of 2020 is none other than the Mi 10T Lite. Now, when I first saw this phone in this stunning rose gold beige, I thought, wow, this is easily the most beautiful phone of the year. But once I started using this device, you simply have an incredible mid-range experience in this phone. Now, you could argue this is almost a Poco X3 5G, but that's doing a disservice to this phone. There's so much more about this device that makes it great, like the rock solid camera performance, like the terrific 120Hz display, to the Snapdragon 750G that I think is offering some of the best performance of any phone this year. Now, personally, I would have loved to pick the Redmi 10X Pro, but despite having OLED and all the features that I would have wanted, in many ways the Redmi 10X series was kind of swept aside by the later releases from Xiaomi and Poco this year. And the Mi 10T Lite kind of fills that void at a global scale of what a great Xiaomi mid-range phone can be. And so that's why the Mi 10T Lite is my best mid-range phone of 2020. And now talking about best compact phone. And I think 2020 has been the year where we've seen the resurgence of smaller phones, like the iPhone SE2, like the 12 mini at the flagship level, that are giving people more options that is also comfortable to use in one hand. But if I'm just going to give it to one, the best compact phone of the year is the Pixel 5. Now, in my opinion, the Pixel 5 wins this category for a number of reasons. One of which, though, is the battery life. There's no other phone at this size that is able to provide the battery life that you can get from a Pixel 5 compared to the competition like the SE2 and the 12 mini. Those devices do make sacrifices in terms of battery life. I want a phone that will last for days. I want a phone with the best cameras, and I want a phone with the best uncompromised software experience of stock Android, and this Pixel 5 delivers on all counts. Easily the most comfortable one-handed phone that I've used this year without compromising on battery. My best compact phone of the year is the Pixel 5. And then we go to best software, and there's been some great software releases this year. iOS 14, I would say, on the 12 Pro Max is my runner-up. But when I think about one piece of software that I've used more than any other this year, it's been MIUI 12. And in my opinion, there's one that finally got the MIUI 12 experience 100% right, and that's none other than the Mi 10T Pro. Now, I know lag and stutter, it's always an issue that a number of you have complained about, and when this Mi 10T Pro was announced, I knew it would be a very slick, very fast phone with a 144Hz refresh rate, but what I didn't expect was the best implementation of MIUI 12 on any device I've tested this year. It is just that optimized, and it is a tremendous experience. If you want one of the best software experiences of the year and the best MIUI 12 experience on any phone, look no further than MIUI 12 on the Mi 10T Pro. And now here we go, the most controversial award of the day, the Frankie Tech Fail Award. And this goes to either a phone or a company that, in my opinion, has kind of taken the wrong turn or has kind of moved back in terms of perception. And this year, I'm giving the Frankie Tech Fail Award to OnePlus. Now, don't get me wrong, OnePlus has made some incredible devices this year, and I even named the OnePlus 8 Pro my phone of the year so far back in June. But since then, guys, OnePlus has really taken a turn for the worse, in my opinion, with releases like the Nord that, yes, were very good, but were, I think, very deceptive in terms of the build materials of the phone. Then we saw the OnePlus 8T, which is a great phone, don't get me wrong, but I expected so much more from that release. But I think the bigger issue with OnePlus has been that they're starting to jump the shark and lose the messaging behind their never settle attitude, with releases like the N10 5G that have just been so underwhelming and that don't even feel like OnePlus releases. We've seen the exit of Carl Pei from the company, and we're just starting to see a company whose culture is actually moving away from the thing that endeared me to them so much in the first place. The never settle attitude is really under threat right now with the direction that OnePlus is going in, and that's why they're getting my Frankie Tech Fail Award for 2020. And I hope that they can backtrack on this strategy, and maybe then next year they can get my Most Improved Award, and I hope that's the case. But speaking of Most Improved Award, let me share with you guys now, in my opinion, the company and particularly this phone that I think has shown the most improvement from the mid-year awards, where I was really questioning the direction or even what the strategy was for this company. My Most Improved Award goes to Realme and the Realme X7 Pro. Now, about 3 or 4 months ago, I did a video called Where is Realme? And I just felt at the time that Realme was not able to compete. They were not creating products that I really could recommend. It seemed like Realme was down for the count, and then came the Realme X7 series and all the other series of phones they've come out with in the second half of this year, and Realme is back, guys. They have improved so much from the beginning of the year to now, and this Realme X7 Pro definitely for me represents one of the best affordable flagship phones you can buy this year. It's great to see Realme back on track, and in this case they're my most improved player in the market for 2020. And now we get to the big boys, the last 3 awards of this show, and we start with Best Affordable Flagship. Now, there were a number of phones in the running for this. We had the Poco F2 Pro, Redmi K30 Pro, the Redmi K30 Ultra, and even this Realme X7 Pro, you could argue, is an affordable flagship. But there's no other phone that I think this year has impressed me more from what I initially expected to what has turned out to be one of my favorite experiences of any phone this year. My affordable flagship award goes to the Mi 10T Pro. Now, you may say, but Frankie Tech, this is a flagship, but we're talking about affordable flagships here. This phone can be had here in Hong Kong for $3,600. So it clearly falls into affordable flagship territory. And look, guys, despite the IPS LCD display, which in my opinion doesn't even matter at this point, this is the best affordable flagship experience you can get on the market. With the best implementation of MIUI 12, one of the best build qualities of any Xiaomi phone this year, an absolutely buttery smooth 144Hz refresh rate, and cameras that don't disappoint as well, I think that this Mi 10T Pro actually surpasses the Poco F2 Pro in terms of just overall experience and daily use. Add to that incredible battery life, super fast charging, and just this beautiful Aurora blue color. My daughter loves this phone. It's the Sleeping Beauty phone, but it's also my pick for best affordable flagship of 2020. And now we get to it, best flagship phone. And this one has been tough because there have been some terrific uncompromised flagships this year, like the Mi 10 Pro, like the OnePlus 8 Pro, and the Mi 10 Ultra. But once again, guys, when I think about a flagship device, an uncompromised flagship device, there's one phone that now a couple of weeks into use, I can tell you totally deserves this best flagship award, and that's none other than the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Now, a lot of you may say, wow, Frankie Tech, how can you give this award to an iPhone? Well, if you look back at the second annual phone awards, the 11 Pro Max took the best flagship award that year. And I think the 12 Pro Max continues that tradition, refining what was already a terrific phone in the 11 Pro Max and just stepping it up a notch. With its incredible 6.7-inch OLED display, tremendous build quality, terrific battery life, and arguably some of the best cameras on any smartphone to date. And that is why I think if you're talking about that $1,000 to $1,200 US price point phone, there's no better choice than this 12 Pro Max. It's my best flagship of 2020. But of the phones that I've tested, there is a close runner-up to the 12 Pro Max, and that's none other than the Mi 10 Ultra. This basically was everything that you would have wanted, and Xiaomi delivered it here in this Mi 10 Ultra. And the reason though why I decided not to give the award to this phone is because of availability. I would have loved to see this Mi 10 Ultra go global, and it never did. And so because of that, it only takes the runner-up spot for best flagship of the year. And here it is, guys, the most important award of the year, Best Phone of 2020. And this was the most difficult award to pick by far, because there's so many contenders in the mix here for this award, like the iPhone 12 Pro Max, like the Galaxy Z Fold 2, the Mi 10 Ultra. The OnePlus 8 Pro is one of the best phones of 2020. But when I thought about this award this year, I started thinking also about the year we've had. And I'm sure you also agree, this has been one of the most challenging years for not just me, not just for you, but for the entire world. And due to all the economic hardship that people are facing, this has been a year where a lot of people have looked to their wallets and have thought about what a phone is actually providing them. And the Ultra flagships are just not it. And so for fitting with the theme of this year and the fact that most people really are thinking about value in their smartphones, there's one phone that for me represented the ultimate value of what you can get in a smartphone. I don't have the phone with me, but I sure as heck miss it. The best phone of the year is none other than the Pixel 4a. And the Pixel 4a for me represents exactly what this year is about. Getting a phone that nails the essentials like terrific battery life, like having some of the best cameras, having solid build quality, solid display for the price. Honestly guys, it's probably one of the most under the radar phones of the year, but it is the one phone that I can easily tell someone, if you just want a phone that will do the job and that will give you everything you need during these troubling times, all you need is a Pixel 4a. And coming at that price point of $350 US, yes, I know that other phones are available in other markets for even less, but generally speaking, the value that you still got for the Pixel 4a, I think is amazing. It's not the most glamorous phone. It's definitely not even the most decked out and most fantastic phone with the highest refresh rate, with the largest bells and whistles. But when you think about what this year has been about and what we are all going through, I feel confident to tell you nothing embodies this year more than that phone. And so my best phone of 2020 is the Pixel 4a. And so that's it guys, another Frankie Tech Phone Awards comes to an end, and hit me up in the comments. What is your pick for best phone of the year? I know that there's going to be a lot of differing opinions, especially for best phone of the year. And do always remember, guys, that phone awards are pretty subjective. My favorite phone may not be your favorite phone, but definitely hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for future updates. It's crazy, guys. December is here and Christmas time is just around the bend. Stay tuned, guys. We're not done for the year yet. Some great content still coming up here on Frankie Tech. So that's it, and this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one.